Okay guys, on this lecture we're going to start forming our design together. So before we start designing our logo, let's set up some of our color palette together, which means we're going to fix what colors we're going to use. So we're going to start off by creating a few rectangles. So let's select the rectangle tool here. Let's make a square by holding shift while making it. So there we have it. Now it's a white rectangle. We're gonna press and hold Alt and drag another rectangle out of this one. We just duplicated it. So we want to duplicate, let's say 3 more. So we're gonna just press Control D, Control D, Control D, and Control D. So now we have 5 of these rectangles. So let's give this one an orange color. So we're going to double click on the fill swatch here, and let's say we want it to look like this. Let's go with that orange. So we're going to select this rectangle now. Select the eyedropper tool with the shortcut I and press on the orange on the left rectangle. Next, we're going to double click on the fill swatch and just bring the circle a bit lower so it's a darker shade of an orange. We're going to do the same with the next two. So this is our palette. We're going to select all of it, press Ctrl G to group it. We're going to go to our layer window. This is our layer window. In case you don't see the layer window, you can go to window and click on layer and it should be visible. So while this selected, we're going to click on locate object and we're going to lock it. So it's just gonna be useful here as a color palette, so we don't want to move it around or anything. So if we want to put any of this color on an object, we just select that object, and with the help of our eyedropper tool, we just click on one of these colors to apply the color. So now let's get started. So we're going to start with our text. So let's select the type tool and type out level. For our level 13 logo, we're going to use the font Titanium Bold. You can find the font in the resources section of this lecture. So next we're going to duplicate it by holding Alt and dragging it out. And we're going to keep the new one on the side. So to start off, we want to increase the stroke of this text that we have here. So we're going to come over here, type in 60 and press enter. That looks pretty good. We're going to next, we want to expand it. Basically, expanding a text means we want to change the format of the text from a text object to a shape object, which will let us manipulate it a bit more, but we are going to lose the ability to edit the text later. So since we're sure about the spelling and everything, we can go ahead and expand it. So we're going to go to object, click on expand. Make sure object and fill are selected and press OK. And we're going to do the same one more time. Go to object, expand, and OK. Now we have this shape with the word level with it. We want to make it, turn it into one shape altogether. So we're going to select the shape builder tool and click and run a line through it, through all of the parts to make sure all of the parts are selected. And now we have a separate shape. Next we're going to, by the way, I'm zooming in and out with the scroll of my mouse and while holding Alt. So you can do that if you think that's useful. And you can move around your artboard with the hand tool, which is the shortcut for that, which is space bar. So if you have the space bar, you can move the artboard around to your liking. So we're going to press the shape now and change the color to this orange here. Awesome. Next, we want to give it some perspective by giving it some sides. So we're going to start drawing some sides with the pen tool. So select the pen tool by pressing P on your keyboard, and let's just start drawing points and lines and a rectangle like this. So let's just start drawing a rectangle which is going to look like this. By the way, I'm holding shift while drawing this rectangle to get a exact 45-degree angle and a straight line. So you can try that. It's pretty helpful. There you go. And we're gonna select the side here and give it a darker shade so it looks like a side. So click on there. There you have it. Next, we want to duplicate it and put it on the other L on the right. So press and hold Alt and drag. There you go. Let's make sure it's perfectly placed. Cool. Next up, let's put up a side over here at the V. So press P, point, and there you go. Next, we want to put up a side on the bottom here. So what we're going to do here is the same rules, but with a little bit of twist. So nothing to be afraid of. We're going to click on the point here, hold shift, get a 45-degree angle, point, and we're going to draw it halfway and connect it. Next, we're going to duplicate it and bring it all the way to the right edge. There you go. Now we're going to select our direct selection tool with the shortcut A and select these 2 points and drag both of them all the way to the left. Make sure you're holding shift while moving points like that so that you have everything in the line. There you go. That looks perfect. I think we missed a bit here while making our shape, so nothing to worry about. Just select your direct selection tool with A, select this point, and hit delete. There you go. Cool. Now we want to give it a side on this side here because it looks weird. So we're going to bring the side from here, connect it with the point, increase it on the side so it matches this point, and then we're going to select both of these sides and we're going to select the shape builder tool and get rid of this part. Cool. I think it will look better if we increase the size over here a bit because it looks a bit absurd. Cool. Next, we want to put a gradient on the top layer over here. So we're going to apply a very simple gradient. So we're going to open the gradient window and we're going to drag the orange from here and make another swatch, get rid of whatever we have over here, bring these swatches to the opposite sides, and we're going to darken the orange of this side a bit. So the reason why I did this is because it adds a little bit of perspective to the, and since we're going to add the number 13 on top of it, it's going to look like it's casting a shadow on the level object below it. Now we're going to select it all and set it aside for a while. And we're going to work with this level and we're going to expand it. And we want to bring this back to the middle. We want to bring the level on top of our base here. Make sure it's evenly put. Cool. Next, we want to change the color of this level to white. Alright, now to give this whole thing a little bit of style, we want to extend the corner here by selecting the point with our direct selection tool and lifting it a bit on the top. We're going to do it with both of the L's. Cool. Now we want to work with our number 13. So let's type in 13. We are going to apply the font Mont heavy on this number, and we're going to click on the borders and increase the size of the number here. Next up, we're going to expand it by pressing Shift Control O. This is the shortcut for expanding an text or any other object. The reason why I didn't do this before is because I wanted to show you the manual way of doing it, because sometimes you may not want to expand both the fill and the object, in which case you'll have to do it the manual way. Now as you can see, these two are in a group, so we're going to press Shift Control G to ungroup them, and we're going to bring the 3 closer to 1. Next, we are going to select both of them and duplicate. Now let's put each of the 13s into groups by selecting them and pressing Ctrl G, select and press Ctrl G. Now let's put some color in them. So we're going to select this 13, the new one, and select our eyedropper tool by pressing I and give it a lighter orange. Let's go with this orange, and with this 13, the one which is going to be on the bottom, we're going to give it a darker orange. Now we're going to place them slightly above each other, like so. That's good enough. Now as you can see, it doesn't look completely 3D. So in order to make it look like that, we want to fill up the gaps here with the same looking color and objects. So we're going to go ahead and select our pen tool and just fill up the gaps here. Click on just point to point. This is very easy. And make sure it's the same color as the bottom layer. Do it with each of the corners that has white. So as you can see, while making this shape, I had to overwrite on top of the 3 over here. So don't worry about it. We're going to fix it at the end after we're done filling up each of the gaps. So let's keep going. Now we're going to select the 13 on top and press Shift Control right bracket to bring it on all of the top layers, and as you can see, it's gone and it looks like a complete 3D 13. So we're going to select all of it, press Ctrl G to group, and we're going to bring it on top of our level object, rotate it a bit and increase in size, and place it so that we can see the bottom of the L over here, so that we know that it's still an L and not an I. Next, we're going to select all of it, press Ctrl G and bring it to the center. Okay, awesome. Congrats guys, you're done with the forming of the logo. On the next lecture, we're going to learn how to export our logo for preview.